8 years later, I started skating again.
Wow.
Did you really put down the board for 8 years? Did you?
I did a movie with Lawrence Kasdan, who's a great writer. He wrote Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
I think.
Oh, wow.
But he did some rad 80s movies like Body Heat, The Big Chill, Grand Canyon, which I think was the 90s. But anyway, great screenwriter. He wrote, so I think he's really wealthy because I think he gets residual checks from the Empire Strikes Back. He wrote this, and I think he wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark too.
Wow.
Right? So I think he's doing really well.
Yeah.
Anyway, he did a sweet little movie called Mumford that came out in like 2000
You
or
played a
something like that.
skateboarder in that movie.
And I played this eccentric billionaire like tech guy who skates. So I had to like relearn how to ollie up curbs.
Oh, wow.
Like I hadn't skated in, 4 years. I didn't even touch a skateboard. All my skateboards were in storage.
Yeah.
You've been to my
I've
storage,
been to
you've
your
seen
storage,
them.
Yeah.
And I got a board set up. It was a stereo board, and on set I had to push around and learn kickflips again and all that stuff, and it felt a little bit foreign. But I did that, and then I dropped it again.
You dropped it again.
In 2003, I started skating again. And I called Pastris. I'm skating again. He said, I'll be right there.
Wow.
That's so rad.
And I was doing 360 flips again. And it was just like, things take their own courses.
Absolutely.
What
I
made
always
you want to
believe, though, once you're a skater, you're always a skater.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
That's the thing. Like
100%.
whether you are physically riding a skateboard or not.
Right.
The magazine, the memories from looking at magazines, watching videos, the camaraderie, the friendships.
Yeah.
The knowing that you are a kind of a unique breed of humans.
Sure.
Because you've got a key to the very unique, special world of skateboarding.
Yeah.
Whether you're physically riding a board or not, there's that. You're in that world,
For
and
sure.
it never escapes you.
It doesn't. But for me, also as an older skateboarder, I mean, sometimes it takes something to like put it down for a little while to find that, to reignite that passion
Or you need
again.
to put it down. You need to put it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
And now when I roll around with my kids, it's so fun.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so fun. Sometimes life goes where it needs to go.
Yeah.
For
I
sure.
think sometimes,
For sure.
And then I was skating, pushing, and then we kind of got stereo. We put some new breath into stereo's lungs, and then that was going really well. And then Giant went out of business, I believe, and that was a big hit to us.
Yeah.
And it's skateboarding's much bigger now, and it's kind of it's not always easy running a smaller brand.
Totally.
And
But you guys have been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
30
which is
years this
amazing.
year. 30
Wow.
Crazy.
Congrats.
For
What was
the
your
Ubers.
thoughts when Switch started coming around? What were you thinking? You're like, fuck, I have to learn something new, or did you even get into it?
Well, no, I did. I couldn't really do switch flips, but I could do backside nollie 180 flips.
Oh,
I got
sick.
those. Watching Salman switch skate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And apparently he was the guy that
He's
sort of started it.
Switch God.
Yeah.
Because
the original Switch guy.
the legend has it that he sprained his ankle or hurt his ankle.
Oh,
and then
okay,
started
yeah,
skating
yeah.
And
switch.
started skating switch so that he could keep skating without. So he's regular, and so switch skating he was also normal pushing switch.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Back
yeah,
then.
yeah.
Yep.
That's
Back
a big
then,
part
he
of
was
it.
he wasn't Mongo
Yeah, Switch
pushing
Mongo.
switch.
Yeah.
He was normal pushing. There's that footage where he has the cast and he's going down the sidewalk and he does this switch frontside 180 over the driveway gap thing. He looked good switch.
Yeah.
He looked good switch. I'm living in Silver Lake years ago, 2007. So this is about 2 years into Earl, and it's Halloween night. I open the door, and there's a neighbor. Knows I live there. He's probably in his late 20s at that time. The wily hair, the stash, flannel, a list in his pocket, and he goes, he goes, hey, my name is Earl. Happy Halloween. He came to my house dressed as Earl on Halloween, knowing that I lived there.
Amazing.
And I had the stash because I was working on the show at that point. And I got a photo with him, and I still have the photo.
That's
It was
like
rad.
that's rad.
It was super rad.
That's
It was
rad.
super rad.
Rad.
It was super cool.
Because I think, it's funny, making the comparison between acting and skateboarding, it's like when we go to demos, we go to autograph signings, and half the kids there don't know who you are. They're just there to get the autograph. But there's always the kids who bring the spread you were in or the video cover to sign, and like the kids who really are like, dude, this is, and those are the ones that are like, dude, you're rad.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
the best.
Like, this is
I remember
really cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
watching My Name Is Earl with my mom back like when it was going on, and I was like, "Do you know he used to be a pro skateboarder?" And she like she had no idea whatever, but I thought that was the first time I could relate to an actor. Like we know the same thing.
Yeah.
Does that sound? I don't know. We came from the same place. Like
I mean, skateboarding is sacred ground, man.
Yeah.
Like, anybody that skates is just like, I totally feel that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You feel like there's a kinship there, even if you've never met a skateboarder.
100%.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, none of anything is possible without having discovered skateboarding in my life. He was sort of the bridge between skateboarding and the moms and the dads and sort of regular society.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like a cop would feel cool if he knew, like knowing who Tony Hawk is or what, and then X Games and now the Olympics, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I feel like, like he was even really popular back then because he was like in toy commercials and people knew Tony Hawk, right? But that was the thing for me was skateboarding. I didn't have any other plans or any other desires whatsoever. And I was afraid though. And I think societally, that's what they ultimately want. Not to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but they do want, right? They do want like the school and then the college and then the 401k. All good. It's all no problem with that. It just wasn't my thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But considering that I was genuinely afraid to drop out of high school made me kind of go, wow, that's society's built in a weird way.
Yeah.
Do I really need to?
Yeah.
If I want to learn some trade or become an engineer or an architect or a doctor or a lawyer or okay, so I have to study that specific subject.
Right. But your classroom is out in the streets.
Yeah.
But if I'm like going, like how many kids have you known that go to college and you say, what's your major? They say, I don't know yet.
Yeah. Totally,
What are you doing there then?
They're just going because their parents
Because
want them
that's
to go.
that's sort of like the system is set up like that.
Yeah.
So I was genuinely afraid to leave school because that's a big no-no. You don't drop. Are you a dropout bum?
Yeah.
No, I'm a dropout skater, bitch.
Exactly. Yes.
I've had shorter stashes where it's a little bit more cop stash. I've been able to play that off a little bit, but the straight up big wily Earl porno stash, no, it just didn't really work.
Is it weird being on television like that? I mean, you're in everybody's home. You know, it's different than a movie, right? Some people don't go see the movie, blah, blah, blah. And it's like you're in everybody's home at dinner time. They're watching dinner with you.
Yeah.
And you're walking down the street and somebody says Earl. Like, you're not Jason Lee.
It's so rad if you like the work, especially if you like the work.
There you
and
go.
Earl was
Right.
amazing. I mean, there were genuinely many examples of people, fan letters or people even through Instagram to this day. And you kind of overlook, you're kind of like, you maybe you don't really think it's real until you kind of really sit down and imagine the person's perspective. I've had letters where it's like, oh, I was a heavy alcoholic, or I was kind of doing and watching Earl genuinely changed my deal.
Oh, wow.
I've been sober for 10 years, or I made my own list. And you're kind of like, is this real? Do I believe that? And you're kind of like, I think this is real.
Right.
And you kind of like, you're working a job and you're enjoying it, but it's also a grind. You're getting up at 6 a.m, you're driving out to Van Nuys, and you're working 14 hours a day. Wow. You're grateful and you're always in a good mood, and you want to make sure that the hardworking crew around you is stoked.
Yeah.
You always want to be happy, and you always want to greet people effusively and with a big smile, because we're lucky to be in that position, and we don't want to take that for granted, right?
Sure.
But you're human, and there are days where you're like, I don't want to drive to the valley and work for 14 hours today.
Yeah.
Right. I would say it was a damn popular show.
It was fun. It was so fun. It was so fun.
And how did that come about? Did you audition for this thing?
I got the
or
offer, and
you just got
said
it.
no. Said no.
Oh, you said
Whoa.
Yeah, because I didn't want to do TV. I didn't want to be bound to. I mean, now it's different. Now
Way
it's like you film 10 episodes, boom, 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 and the series is done for the year. For Hulu, Netflix, Apple, whatever. It's just the streaming stuff is quick.
Yeah. Right.
You're kind of you film for 8 weeks or whatever, and then you're back home with your family.
But like
Earl
big movie stars are going into that direction. Like
gosh.
it's insane.
But back then they weren't.
No.
It was like you're either a movie star or a TV actor.
Yeah, I was like, do I just do movie? I don't know. I mean, one season we did 27 episodes.
Dude.
And it's a grind because you're filming on location and there's lots of action. And it wasn't like The Office was like 2 handheld cameras.
in an office.
In an office. We were on location. We had steady cams and cranes and dolly track. We were shooting a movie every 5 days. And it was exhausting.
I could imagine.
It was really exhausting. We
How
did
long
99 episodes. I liken it to if you're a musician and you go into a studio, you're laying down your guitar part.
That's it.
And you know that the drummer did his or her part, blah, blah, blah. And then they slice and dice it all together.
And I guess
bouncing off each other.
I guess you're also aware of they just cut it and edit it however.
And
they
a really
please.
good director knows
Right.
exactly what's going on. They have the movie edited in their head.
Right.
I mean, technology's gotten even more advanced now. This was like early 2000s. I think they had already been working on The Incredibles for about 7 years.
What?
Before I came in. I think I could be mistaken, but I think the Pixar movies they make them much faster now.
I'm sure.
But they would take a 15-second clip and send it to the rendering farm where they literally had like massive buildings, Pixar, with just hard drives that render data.
Wow.
So a 15-second clip, like a fight sequence or something, 15 seconds, they'd send that off to the rendering farm and get it back a month later rendered.
That's
Wow.
And
So
then
it
have to make
takes
changes to that if they need to.
years to make these movies. Years.
And then what do you do? Do they just hit you up, or do you go in for an audition for a voice
They
thing?
hit
or
me up, and I was
No
like,
way.
"A Pixar offer? Yes." Brad Bird apparently was listening to my dialogue from a Kevin Smith movie called Dogma.
Okay.
Where I played this kind of evil guy with this kind of elongated talking and this kind of villain. And Brad Bird was listening to the dialogue and looking at the drawings of Syndrome with the big red hair and put it together and thought it would work.
That is so cool.
So that was really cool. I was so honored to be in a Pixar movie, man.
Yeah.
They make the best movies.
Incredible.
I still have some coffee and I still have San Pellegrino. Perfect. If I haven't mentioned already, if you want a nice, crisp, refreshing, bubbly water with no sour aftertaste, try San Pellegrino. Oh, it's nice.
I've never had anybody do actual commercials on the show.
You're going to
very
use
natural.
this
It's crazy.
and you're going to take those clips and send it to
PO box on there.
Bergamo, Italy. Bottled at the source, San Pellegrino, Terme, Bergamo, Bergamo, Italy.
Have you ever done like commercials like that before?
I've done voiceover stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You've done
voiceover
a lot
stuff is great.
I mean, you've done video games. You've done movies.
Yeah,
you've done it all.
I did a couple some
That
cartoons
must be
and
the
stuff.
Is that the
Yeah,
most
it's fun
easiest
too,
work?
man. It's
Yeah,
fun.
like, seems like
Voiceover
it
work
is.
is fun.
Yeah.
Because you can get all like wacky in front of the, in front of the microphone, and that's been fun. I did some shows for. Some
You did like Alvin and the
cartoons.
Chipmunks.
Yeah, that's
right?
live action though.
Right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for just voiceover at the microphone, I did The Incredibles, which was
Oh wow.
Brad Bird is an amazing. Brad Bird directed Iron Giant. Have you guys ever seen Iron Giant?
I haven't seen
Hand
it.
animated.
Yep.
Really?
And then he did The Incredibles. He did Ratatouille, which is so good. He's an amazing director. That was really cool to do The Incredibles. But voiceover work is really, really cool.
How long